All right, West Virginia fans, disappointing weekend. Tough losses. A few days ago, we were looking at a big lead against Clemson. We were feeling good about this team. 48 hours later, we have a different story. To talk about it tonight, I have my good friend of the show, Amit Botcher. Amit, how we doing tonight?
Doing okay, man. How are you?
Been better. After seeing the Giants have another double-digit loss tonight, which was just so predictable when you're watching it, and then watching West Virginia have some eye-opening losses, if that's fair to say. It was a tough weekend. We had a lot of momentum coming into this one, and it just seems like we've lost a lot of that momentum that we built up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There were definitely, I thought, two winnable games and two brutal losses that ended up being. But yeah, I mean, I think there were just some things that they couldn't get past over the weekend, and it's tough to come out with no wins, but you got to move on pretty quickly. And I think, like we talked about, some of the non-conference games that are going to be big moving forward are going to be extra big now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it maybe we had too high of expectations. Maybe we were a little bit unrealistic after the last few wins, especially against the win against Pitt. Did Pitt end up losing that game to Quinnipiac? Amit?
I'm not sure. They were down like six the last I saw, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but they haven't looked good at all, Pitt. So who knows? Maybe we were overhyping this team and got too excited. But on today's episode, we'll break down the losses to Clemson, to Xavier. We'll talk about where West Virginia goes from here, some of the bright spots from the game, and things like that. Before we do, if you're a West Virginia fan, please remember to like and subscribe to JerseyEER. We just hit 500 subscribers literally this morning. Amit texted me and said, "Hey, man, we got 500." So that's super exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you everybody for helping us get there. It's we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Some Jersey guys, talking Mountaineers. How could you not love it? All right, let's talk about the Clemson game first because was that one was Friday, and that one seemed like it was a win. We were leading that game, and we had a lot of positive momentum, but we ended up dropping it 67-70. Amit, what are your initial thoughts from the game before I get into my notes?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was definitely a game of runs, and it had a little bit of that NCAA tournament feel to it. I thought Chance Moore was aggressive, and he was great. I mean, it was kind of his coming out game, his first game back. I thought it was a great learning experience for the team. Obviously, was hoping to get tonight to kind of rebound from that, but I thought the free throws were an issue. I thought some of the perimeter defense was also an issue, as we saw tonight as well. But it was one of those games where it felt like, a March type of game. And I thought it was a winnable game, but, just a tough one.
Yeah, especially after seeing us how much we struggled tonight, it would have been really nice to get that win versus Clemson, because if you get that win on Friday, well, then you would play Georgia tonight. But even if you're not playing your best, at least splitting the series, you probably feel a little bit better about the weekend if you at least split and win a game than you do tonight. So the opportunity was there. We came out with a 32-25 lead, and we were playing typical hodgeball, turning them over and doing some good things. Like you said, Chance Moore looked really good in that game. The 3-pointer he hit at the buzzer was incredible. He had another dunk.
Yeah.
He was super impressive that night, not as much tonight. But I thought after leaving that game on Friday, the potential was there for this team to do well. But it was a tale of two halves, as you can see from the graphic that we have. Anytime you give up 45 points to a team, it is going to be very hard to win that game when you're giving up that many points.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, it was kind of just frustrating because I thought Clemson got a lot of open threes late. And it was just like I was like screaming at the TV just to guard the perimeter. And then the free throws. I mean, you can't have those games where you're just missing a bunch of free throws because that's going to kill you. In these type of games.
And that's been the kind of the case all year. There's been times where the free throws have been an issue. It was a very physical game between these two, and that's why there were so many free throws taken. But I thought West Virginia, to kind of put a bow on Friday's game since that happened, 48 hours ago, they just kind of lost their composure in that game.
Yeah.
There was a time where we were down by 2, and we forced a 3-pointer, which was not needed. And then we get the ball back. We're down by 3, and then we dunk the ball with a guy open in the corner with like a second left in that game.
Yeah.
I think a team that has played together for a long time doesn't make those mistakes. I think that was some of the growing pains that kind of were expected going into the season.
Yeah, no, and absolutely, and Ross, I know he admitted he should have called a timeout at the end instead of, I mean, you can't really put that on Belo. I mean, he's probably not thinking too much at that point, but it's like, man, if only you had another opportunity at the end there.
Yeah, so that one was a tough loss. Like I said, to lose by 3 to a solid opponent is tough. You want to get those wins because these non-conference games are extremely important, as we know. The Big 12 gets very challenging, and for a team that's most likely going to be a bubble team, if we think they're going to play how they're supposed to this year, these non-conference games matter for tournament committees. So that one was definitely a missed opportunity on Friday. Let's get into tonight's game. Different story tonight as far as the tone of the game. I left much more concerned after this game than the last game. Is that fair to say, Amit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the three ball just killed West Virginia tonight. I think that was the story of the game. I mean, you give up 16 threes, you're not going to beat many teams. And, it just felt like every time West Virginia was trying to get back and claw their way back into it, Xavier had an answer, and it was mostly from the 3-point line. So, it was a tough one. Was hoping to at least get a split this weekend, but yeah, this was a difficult one because I think Clemson is just a better team than Xavier. So maybe you're okay with maybe losing that one if you can bounce back here. But yeah, this is just a tough one to kind of swallow.
Yeah, so let's break down these stats, right? Field goal percentage was pretty even, 43 to 45. The issue, though, like you said, was the three-pointers. They attempted 25 and made 16. We attempted 22 and only made 6. So 64% from behind the arc. You're not going to beat many teams if they shoot like that against you. They were perfect from the free throw line, 12 for 12 from the free throw line. We were 12 for 15. We didn't, I was watching the game with my dad and I was saying, I don't think we turned them over as much as I'm used to turning other people over. And I think that was a factor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you've kind of been accustomed to it this season where you're getting a lot of turnovers. But yeah, tonight, I mean, they just really couldn't turn them over probably as much as they wanted to.
Yeah, we did well with the points in the paint and things like that, second chance points. But it just seemed like we could never close that gap. Anytime we had a chance to close the gap against this team, we were just unable to do so.
Yeah, and I thought they came out pretty hot. And I was hoping they could just extend that lead, kind of into double digits there, but they weren't able to do it. And then they just couldn't go to 3 tonight.
Yeah, so I'm going to go through my notes. Eric Flowers has a note on this game. He said, our 7-footer is getting mauled, WTF. Yeah, so I think the problem with that was Harlan Obayoa was in some foul trouble, and that definitely changed the game, not having him. So let's just go through the different notes that I took from this one before we move on. Those pick and pop threes, Amit, catch and shoot. Like you said, man, that killed us all game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was Milicevic, or if I'm butchering his name, I don't know. But he was killing us, and Carroll. I mean, those two were just lighting it up all night.
Yeah, we have the stats right here. We can look at them real quick. Wright had 14 for them. Milovic had 21. That guy was causing us fits in that game. Walker. So they had 4 guys in double figures for them, which is super impressive for them. They just shot the ball lights out. If they don't, and most nights they're probably not going to shoot like that.
Yeah.
But we just caught a hot team that we could not close the gap. For West Virginia, Lorient had 11 points. Honor Huff had 16. Honor Huff, really slow start to the game, had 0 points coming into the second half, but really got it going in the second half. Was impressed by him. Trayson Eaglestaff, 20 points for Trayson. Has he finally got it going a bit?
Yeah, you would hope so. I mean, I think he was just a little bit more aggressive today. He was, he's obviously able to make some shots, and that was the big difference. But yeah, I just liked his aggression a little bit more today, and I think he was just playing a little smarter.
Yeah, Harlan Obayoa only had 3 points. Again, foul trouble probably was the major issue there. Amir Jenkins had 4. Thomas had 4. Chance Moore, great debut on Friday. Looked to be an all-star. Now 0 points. Couldn't get it going tonight, Mitt.
Yeah, I mean, just disappointing because you probably needed that third guy maybe, or that fourth guy to kind of get something going. And yeah, the bench today really didn't do too much.
Yeah. Eric Flower said, "I'm saying he doesn't dunk. He got the ball taken from him multiple times. If he plays like this in conference play, we are going to suck." Hey, I think it's a fair assessment. We've seen the good of Harlan Obioa. We've seen the not so good from Harlan Obioa. I think it's fair to say though that he is a crucial part of the team, and if he isn't playing well, then you might have a point there. So fair point taken. Tonight was not his best night. Just a weird night for West Virginia. We couldn't get to our turnovers like we normally do. They were making threes. I think they just made another three on us. I mean, it was brutal. Let's get into the notes though. Back to the notes. I thought we defended well inside. Like you said, we had a strong start to that game, but it felt like we lost momentum early.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, like I said, I was hoping that they could just kind of get into like that 10 to 12 point lead, but just couldn't do it. And then, they got cold and then Xavier just got super hot. So yeah, it was one of those games where, you were just hoping that they would kind of break away, but they couldn't do it. And then when they were trying to claw back, that they would eventually claw back, but couldn't do it.
Yeah, the cold stretches definitely killed us. I think we made one field goal in 6 minutes to end the half, which is just absolutely killer. We mentioned Milovic, unstoppable. That kid had a great outing against us. But overall, there was just too many open looks for Xavier, right? And I think a lot of it had to do with Xavier's ball movement.
Absolutely. They were definitely finding the open guy multiple times. And I don't know what West Virginia's perimeter defense is going to look like moving forward. I'm hoping it gets better because it's been now the Clemson you kind of saw in the second half and you started to see it again tonight. But it seemed like they were trying to pressure inside, but then, Xavier just kick it out and find the open guy and make the three.
Yeah, so too many open looks for them. Again, the ball movement was good. Harlan got in foul trouble, which spelled not so good things for West Virginia when that happened because then they started to smell blood. They were starting to drive inside, and that left 1 to 2 to 3 passes, and then there's an open guy, pick and pop three. Absolutely killed them on Friday, kills them again tonight. Not good. And like we mentioned, the lack of turning people over. We only had 6 points off of turnovers tonight. A good Ross Hodge team, a team, this team's identity is getting free possessions and scoring off those turnovers. They just did not do that tonight. One thing they did do, though, was they got in the bonus early, and I thought that was a chance for us to get back in that game from how early we got into the bonus.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I didn't really love the aggression tonight. It didn't feel like, they had that killer killer instinct that you were hoping to see because you've seen it in spurts, but I think they just got to get, a little bit more consistent with it.
Yeah, any chance, like I said, it just seemed like they kept us at an arm distance away. Any time that we get a chance to get it to 2 to 3 points, they would hit a three. You turn it over, and then you blink, and it's like, there's only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this game.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much over. We turned the ball over a few times, got a little bit sloppy, and that was it. Amit, any last thoughts on this one before we kind of turn the page?
Yeah, no, just a disappointing performance, obviously. Now I think, moving forward, hoping Wake Forest and Ohio State become wins because I think those games become extra big now moving forward. Obviously, Wake Forest is going to be in Charleston, West Virginia. So that's going to be, you should have a great crowd for that one. And then Ohio State is another opportunity. But, you need to get some of these big non-conference wins now, being that Pitt might not be very good.
Yeah, it kind of stinks. Like I said, it would have been nice to get a split here for West Virginia going into the layoff because now we're not gonna play for a week with Thanksgiving break comes, and you're gonna play Mercyhurst and Coppin State. Going to be favored in those ones, so you're not going to get a good look at competition until Saturday, December 6th versus Wake Forest. Like you said, that game's going to be in Charleston, West Virginia. Just an absolutely massive opportunity for West Virginia. And then you play Little Rock, and then that Ohio State game, December 13th, going to be extremely important. Not that we're going to panic over 2 losses in November, but these games are important, and you want to finish at least versus the Power Four with a winning record. So in order to do that, you're going to have to win the next 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Wake Forest, I was just looking at their schedule. They've only lost to Texas Tech and Michigan by a point each. So they are a good team. And then Ohio State hasn't lost yet. So, I mean, those are 2 opportunities that, you hope to get, you hope to get both of them. So let's hope.
Amit, did we get a final score from that Pitt game?
I'm gonna take a look right now.
Let's take a look at that Pitt game real quick. If anyone knows, put in the chat. Pitt Panther basketball.
See here. Pitt lost by 8.
They lost. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Pitt lost to Quinnipiac. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
Quinnipiac. So yeah, I mean that's another thing that's concerning, a little bit is that our major win, we looked great against Pitt, but Pitt is now what
I think they have 3
they're
losses.
4-3.
Yeah.
Pitt had another loss this week too, didn't they?
They lost to UCF by like 10. So
Yeah, so they
yeah.
don't look like a solid team at all. So granted, you looked really good against Pitt at home, which is good, but now I don't know. Now it is a little concerning. So we'll find out more about these teams. Hopefully, it's more of what we saw versus Pitt and more of what we saw in the first half versus Clemson, and less of what we saw in the last 8 minutes of that game, and less of what we saw tonight because we were riding the vibes for a little bit there, Amit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, 5-0, but college basketball, man, just one game and then another game, and then you never know. It's a crazy season. So, hey, let's hope we bounce back and get some quality wins moving forward.
I got a feeling too. Jackson Fields might be back by the next one, right? Another week layoff that gives him another chance to get healthy for that one. So let's talk some football. What do you say, Amit? There was some football news coming out of today.
Let's do it.
Let's go through. Here we go. So football. Rich Rodriguez hopping into the JUCO ranks, Amit. Keon Hutchinson and Kendrick Triplett, both on campus this week. Keon Hutchins, already verbally committed about a couple weeks ago. He was the number 1 JUCO receiver coming in. And then he gets Kendrick Triplett also on campus yesterday. And he loved it so much, he decides to commit to the Mountaineers. Amit, quick thoughts before we show the tape, loading up on some JUCO receivers.
Hey, I mean, sometimes these JUCO guys are obviously capable of performing very well. We've had success with some of these JUCO guys as well. So I'm excited to see what they are able to do. I think they're going to have a lot of opportunity at receiver moving forward. And, they've had some quality offers. I believe Kendrick was also offered by Arkansas. So, I mean, I think they're both very talented, and I think they're going to be great additions for the program.
All right, so let's go with Triplett's tape first. Just show like a minute or two of his highlights since he just committed, and then we'll show Hutchins, and then we'll show some other ones. Right? What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, so this is Triplett here, and you can see, dude, this dude can hit the home run. I think they said in the video he runs a 4.340.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah. You love to have the home run hitter for sure.
Yes, it says third receiver in country, 4.3440. So here's some of his tape right here. You can see him at the bottom of the screen. Gonna run this little screen pass, and he's gonna go untouched to the end zone a minute.
Yeah, this dude has a burst of speed. Look at him go, man. Excited to see what he can do for sure.
Yeah, Rich Rod, it's nice to see him get an early start to recruiting, right? Because the portal hasn't opened yet, but now you can still load up on players. They got to fix their camera work a little bit at his juke, a little shaky there, but he's going to make a play in the ball. He's going to score a touchdown. Looks like he can play inside. He can play outside.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited. We've had some decent success with some JUCO guys. If you remember, like Kevin White was the Lackawanna product.
Yep.
He's going to catch it. This looks like Tavon Austin versus.
Yeah, he has some Tavon Austin to him, it looks like.
He catches it, and he's got, or that route against Texas, if you remember, he catches like a little slant, and he goes 40 yards. Granted, this is JUCO. This isn't the Texas Longhorns in a primetime matchup. But again, look at the ball skills right here, and he's going to go untouched. So if you know one thing about Rich Rodriguez, he likes speed, and this guy definitely has it. So that is Triplett. And then let's also talk about and show the highlight of the other guy that was on campus this week, Keon Hutchins. So let's show his tape a minute. Let me turn this volume. Hold on 1 second. I'm messing up. All right, here we go. So again, very similar receiver. Look at this one. Just runs like a post route and takes the top off the defense. And he's going to be going.
Yeah.
He's got the speed there.
Yeah.
So here's going to play some slot receiver. goes in motion. I love this. Watch the screen pass here. And then, he just broke that guy's ankle. And he's gone. There's a reason why these guys are top-ranked JUCO receivers.
Looks like he has some good size to him, too.
Yeah, I think with West Virginia, too, I think the biggest thing is just load up on as much talent as you can get.
Yeah.
And then, again, he's going to get this 50-50 ball. And, he's going to catch that. So that's a touchdown. Again, you see him playing out wide. Again, just that burst. Runs right past the guy. So speed's coming to Morgantown, admit. It's coming.
Yeah. I mean, I'm super pumped for it.
Yeah, we're gonna show another guy, Boswell, in a second. But again, yeah, I think JUCO guys, low risk, high reward. Is that fair to say?
I think so. I mean, you never really truly know, but I mean, yeah, we've had success. I mean, obviously Kevin White was one of the best receivers in West Virginia history. So, I mean, yeah, you can definitely find those type of players for sure.
Yeah, Rasul Douglas is another guy that was JUCO.
Yeah.
So yeah, all good stuff. Again, you see him out here.
And sometimes those are the most motivated guys. They're itching for that opportunity. So, I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of reward opportunity for it as well.
Yeah, he's just a burner. Yeah, Skylar Howard too. He was a JUCO guy as well. I think Dreamus Smith, right? I think pretty sure he was JUCO. Yeah. So we've had success with those guys. So all exciting stuff, all positive news for the Mountaineers locking down those commits for West Virginia. All right, so there's another guy that is heating up on the recruiting trail, Martavius Boswell. He had an official visit this past weekend. Actually, already put out the pictures in his Mountaineer gear. Look good in the Mountaineer gear. He had put out his top 4 prior to the visit: Mississippi State, Tulsa, Kansas State, and West Virginia. So some Big 12, some SEC comp for us, Amit. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And, we've had a lot of success in the running back room as of late. So I would love to see this guy, join the program. And, could be another JUCO guy that prevails for us.
Yeah, so he's the 3-star grade. He looks like the number 3 running back in JUCO, according to the composite rankings. He had rushed for over 1,000 yards this year, and he had 13 touchdowns. So he has a nose for the end zone, which is awesome. Not the biggest guy, 5'10", 170, but I think with running backs, especially after we saw the attrition that occurred this year, you're going to try to load up on running back as best you can for West Virginia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you always want depth, right? Like we've had a couple guys that have gone down, and so you want that room to be have as much depth as possible.
Let's see what Boswell's got. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right, so this is Boswell here. This dude's just another home run hitter. Nice blocking there, and just hits the hole. North and south, man. Puts his foot down and can just get north and south really quick.
Yeah.
Again, coming out of the shotgun here. Nice change of the direction. And nice. He's gone. He's gone. So, again, with all the injuries that we had this year, I'm all for stacking up at running back, especially getting in the recruiting process early, with the portal not even opening yet. Getting these JUCO guys on campus is massive. And again, he's going to go untouched for, a ton of yards here. So I think there's a lot to like with this guy's breakaway speed.
Yeah. I think the running back room is going to be fascinating in the coming years. There's a lot of talent.
It's going to be interesting to see what some of these guys do, with Hubbard and Bowers. Hopefully they can retain some of those guys. But and then too, Jaheim White. You never know what's going to happen with Jaheim White, either. So again, he's going to cut. It looks like he can catch passes too. Little pass in the flat. Ooh, that spin move. Ooh. That spin move hits like 3 or 4 jukes. Again, it's JUCO, but there's a lot of talented players in the JUCO level. So the fact that he's his stat line shows this, and Sincere Bowers was a JUCO guy, and we saw glimpses of what he can do, especially in that last game. Yeah. So it looks like Rich Rod, he's gonna really stack up the speed. That's what he wants to do. Stack up the speed.
Were you a Last Chance U guy? That I always loved that series, Last Chance U. It always fired me up watching those guys. kind of
I
emerged.
still, I actually follow Jason Brown's podcast.
Yeah.
That guy is a character, man. So I've been following his Instagram and his podcast. He has some funny takes. Um, Not the most politically correct guy, I think, if it's safe to say, but I think he's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
All right, so we don't have highlights of this next guy, but another guy that they're looking at, Colorado School of the Miners running back Landon Walker is taking an official visit to West Virginia on Sunday and Monday. A source tells 24/7 Sports. 6'2", 225-pound back has run for over 2,000 yards and 26 touchdowns, 6.4 yards a carry this year. Sorry, 6.4 yards in 28 games over 3 years. Admit, again, one of those low risk, high reward players.
Yeah, absolutely. And 6.4 yards per carry is very good. So, yeah, has good size. So excited to see. I mean, it looks like we're landing some fun talent here.
Yeah. So this guy, again, official visit sounds like it's today going into tomorrow. Not sure what's going to happen with Ty Edwards
Yeah.
because he's coming off of an injury. I'm not sure what his eligibility looks like. I mean, the guy had to get a waiver going into this year alone, but we might not need Curtis Jones at running back anymore if we can land a guy like this, right? I mean, 6'2", 225 pounds, 2,000 yards in 3 years, pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the big guy gonna be good for potential goal line opportunities, right? So, yeah, excited to see what this room is gonna look like in the coming years. I mean, there's a lot of talent.
I just hope they can stay healthy, man, because before the season, one of my titles was stacked running back room. And that did not come this year. Jalen Knighton was not eligible from SMU. That was a huge hit right off the bat.
Yeah.
Jaheim White gets hurt early. Uh, we've only saw Ty Edwards for that one pit game. So you can never have enough running backs. I think it's exciting what we're doing. And like I said, the portal window hasn't even opened up yet. So exciting stuff. We'll definitely keep track of it. As of right now, I think 24/7 Sports has West Virginia ranked 31st in the nation in the 2026 class, which is, according to West Virginia standards, not bad. That's probably going to get you in the upper half of the Big 12. Ideally, under Rich Rod, I'd love to see us get back in the top 25 more regularly, but I think it's a start for his first full recruiting class cycle. All right, let's talk about some other things, then we'll get out of here in a minute. David Sills. First career touchdown today, Amit. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
David Sills' first career touchdown?
My buddy texted me and I was like, oh, let me check this out. I wasn't watching this game. I don't really watch many Falcons games, but hey, it was great to see. I mean, this guy, has an incredible story. Obviously, he's meant a lot to this program at West Virginia as well. So just happy to see him, happy for him, happy to see him get this touchdown. And it's definitely a long time coming.
David Sills' football story is pretty incredible. If you remember, he was offered a scholarship by USC when he was 12 years old. Ultimately decides to come to West Virginia, wants to play quarterback. That did not occur, right? He plays at West Virginia, has a decent game in the Motel 6. I think it was the Cactus Bowl versus Arizona State, scored a touchdown. Transfers. Dana Holgorsen reaches back out to him and says, hey, are you done with this quarterback thing? You're going to play with receiver for me? Comes back and has one of the best receiving seasons West Virginia's ever seen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He was, that threat, him and Jennings. I mean, that 1-2 punch was amazing during Greer's time, and it was a fun time to be a Mountaineer fan, and super happy for him. He's a great guy. He deserves it, and hope to see more of it.
Yeah, David Sills, one of my true favorite Mountaineers. His chemistry with Will Grier was amazing. And the fact that he hasn't played for West Virginia since 2018, that was 7 years ago. And the fact that 7 years later, he is still on an NFL roster and then scores his first career touchdown says a lot about the type of person that he is. So that's great to see. We need more West Virginians in the NFL. But shout out to David Sills getting a touchdown and just sticking with football. And you know what? Even if he hasn't been starting and playing a lot, he's still making that bread amid the NFL salary. So it's good for him.
He was on the Giants for a bit too. Remember, he was making a lot of plays, like especially like in the camp and stuff. I'm like, man, I was really hoping that worked out because I mean,
I couldn't believe he went undrafted to start off too. But that just goes to show you like how talented the NFL is, and like NFL stands not for long. So the average NFL career is only about 3 years. So the fact that he's still doing it, good, shout out to him.
Yeah.
All right, last thing. So they announced the kickoff for this week's game. It's going to be a noon kickoff Saturday, November 29th at Mountaineer Field. West Virginia is a huge underdog. I think it's like a 21.5-point spread. Amit, thoughts on the noon kick? Quick thoughts on the game going into Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to have a top 5 team coming to town. It's a good opportunity to close the year. Obviously, you're going to be heavy underdogs, but hoping we can stay in this game, and I hope there's a good crowd. It's always tough around Thanksgiving to have a great crowd because everyone's traveling and stuff. But if you're able to make the game, I mean, hey, look, it's a top 5 team, and it's a good opportunity for the program to kind of end the year. So. Hope to play spoil a little bit, get the upset.
Yeah, it's just a shame because I think that college football misses the opportunity and the Big 12 misses the opportunity to have a rivalry week game, right? And there's no reason why this couldn't occur. You look at like Florida State, and you look at Clemson, South Carolina. There's other conferences that are doing out of conference games on rivalry week. There's no reason why West Virginia couldn't play Pitt on this week. It would change the vibe around Thanksgiving weekend. Quite frankly, I think if we had a home game versus Pitt on Thanksgiving weekend, people would come back for that one. I think we're going to see, unfortunately, a lot of empty seats there on Saturday because we're 4-7. There's not much to play for as far as West Virginia is concerned. It's going to be interesting too. I think it's senior day. I say that with quotations because it's been confusing the last few years with senior day. Some guys decide that they're going to walk even though they're not seniors. Some don't walk because they might have another year of eligibility. Amit, does senior day still have the same luster?
No, I don't think so. Because I mean, you don't actually ever know how many years the guy has left. It feels like so. I'm like, all right, you're a senior, but are you still playing next year? But no, to answer your question, I don't think it does. And I totally agree that this game should always be Pitt. Like we've talked about in the past. I'm like, it doesn't feel the same when it's not Pitt. You get amped for that game. It's Thanksgiving. It's like it feels different when it's Pitt.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be Pitt. And honestly, I would love like a Black Friday game because if you play it on Black Friday, you're not on the same ticket with Ohio State, Michigan. You're not on the same ticket as Bama and the Iron Bowl. Have a Black Friday game. Heck, I don't even care if you make it a Thanksgiving game. Make it the Backyard Brawl Thanksgiving game. That'd be great too. I think it's a fix that needs to happen eventually. We need to get back to the rivalry weeks because this game, like I said, even if we were 4-7, there would be a hype going into that game. I'm not sure how many people care about West Virginia, Texas Tech at this point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, for Texas Tech is just taking care of business for West Virginia. Hey, look, you want to end the year with a major upset, right, going into next year. So, yeah, I mean, it probably doesn't have the same hype as it would, the backyard brawl at this time. But you got to play who's on your schedule.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like what West Virginia's motivation is, what they do, because for a lot of the guys, let's face it, a lot of these guys aren't going to the NFL. This will be a lot of them the last time they're strapping up the pads, for the last time. And then it's also a chance for guys to make their presence known one more time for next year. But I also worry about guys that are ready to hit the portal and they're already looking at because chances are we just had a bye week, right? So the chances are these conversations have been had. They're meeting up with their agents. They know what they're going to do after this game is over. I think that's going to be the more fascinating thing is not the game, but a couple hours after the game, checking people's social media handles and see who's staying and who's going.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always a kind of a scary time as well for us fans. But let's see. I mean, it's just it's tough. It would have been better if they won the last game. At least you're trying to play for a bowl, right? At least it may be a low tier bowl, but unfortunately that didn't occur. So I guess it is what it is. But
least favorite time of the year as a fan for me. I hate seeing the transfer portal. Hate seeing our guys leave. Hope that we can keep guys like Cam Vaughn and Jaheim, really do, but we'll find out in the next few days. That's for sure. All right, that's all I got. Amit, anything before we head out of here?
No, I think it's just a kind of a tough weekend basketball wise. But hey, it's still early in the year. There's a lot of opportunities to bounce back, right? And the Big 12 is going to have a lot of opportunities in itself. So, no, that's pretty much all I have. Wishing you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the holidays, and let's go Mountaineers.
You too, Amit. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. I'm sure I'll do a video before that. One more game. It's kind of hard to believe that we've gone through one full football season now. This is the last game. It's going to be a very long off season, as it always is. Football season we count down for, and before you blink, the season is over. So bittersweet, because I think that it was a disappointing season in a lot of ways, but it was also exciting by the end. I think there's a lot to be hopeful for, but now we're just going to have to wait for it. With that being said, I'm JerseyEER. This is Amit. We really appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your night. We'll talk to you guys next time. Let's go Mountaineers.